Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Monday, February 14th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a Time for Change call this Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, and a Reverse Aging Health call 9 p.m. Eastern on this Friday. There's a saying, when all else fails, breathe. It is that simple. We just keep our focus for a few minutes on the rising and falling of our breath. And we watch how our bodies are breathing us. You do not have to do a thing. It will take care of you. The deeper you breathe, the longer you exhale each breath, the faster you clear away any problems inside. Try to breathe deeply. And I'm not talking about strangulate, so deeply that you're, hyperventilating or stressing the body. You don't breathe to stress the body. So you breathe deeply for 15 minutes. Sometime today, you will emerge from the experience completely free from all past issues, and you will. It's an automatic. The fog of thoughts that was clouding your consciousness will have naturally lifted. Only then will you see that the light of your awareness is as bright and brilliant as the sun. And I can see everyone, feel everyone breathing in a big, beautiful chest full of light, clean, conscious air. Right in the now. Right in this moment. When you demand nothing, seek nothing, expect nothing, then the supreme state will come to you uninvited and unexpected. Nisargadatta Maharaj. One thing that you may have learned about this life is that it is perfectly messy. It is a divine chaos, an unsolvable mystery, a perpetual, never-ending matrix of sacred events that is designed to keep us awake, conscious, and living in the unknown. This great divine design is the only way our souls will discover how to relax beyond reason and take refuge in a truly open mind with a compassionate heart. The secret here is understanding that our finances, work, health, and intimate relationships are supposed to not work exactly the way that you think they should. It is this struggle and blip in the matrix which forces us to let go, trust, and surrender to something much bigger inside ourselves. This level of surrender is what will bring us to the deepest place of bliss we could possibly imagine. We were not invited here on earth to spend our time micromanaging our lives, analyzing our inner and outer worlds, achieving our personal goals, completing our projects, reaching to the top, or even fixing our wounded parts. We did not arrive here damaged, permanently wounded, or broken. We were destined to struggle, fret, foil, and fume inside, for there is an impenetrable wall blocking us from understanding this one amazing lesson that we came to this school to learn. To learn that we are not separate from the source of love. And once we give up our internal struggle and conflict and with life and just relax into learning this one simple lesson, we will soon see just how enjoyable and sweet our lives truly can be. Human life is designed to be the ultimate challenge. Things are meant to not always be fun, easy, and turn out exactly the way we think they should, so that we walk the path of spiritual growth. Being stuck between a rock and a hard place stimulates the buried resources inside the soul, forcing the divine creativity to rise into expression. If there is no challenge, you'll just meander, wander the planet, and remain lost in repeating the same thoughts and emotions for lifetimes. Without friction, there can be no spark to ignite the flame. Our souls engaged in this school, if you will, to burn away all of our karma and our internal conflict is the clue that we're not done cooking yet. Once our life becomes a constant state of surrender to the truth that we are the cosmic eternal source of love itself, our karma dissolves and everything about our lives change for the better. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. Plato. One of the greatest insights that has guided many people's lives in the most amazing way is derived from how you view the people who are actively participating in your life in this very moment. Each of these people you see as the perfect guides and teachers that your soul has asked for to push, pull, invoke, and awaken you into that place of absolute surrender, into the source of love. They are the necessary beings designed to bring out the best and worst of you, to help you deepen, grow, and dive further into your spiritual connection. Every person is an essential ingredient needed for the most marvelous 7-course meal of your life to taste perfectly amazing when you understand this about the people closest to you in your life this week. You'll experience the perfection I'm talking about. Through trusting this insight and understanding, you will become activated in feeling this source of love inside you. Living this truth within your community is where you will transcend, ascend, and become completely enlightened in your life. You will discover truly that everyone is here to enlighten you, help you wake up to realize you already are far beyond any suffering that you're in the habit of creating. The only reason people continue suffering every day is because they haven't yet turned inwards towards the real. The ego is too busy searching for fool's gold on the outer world or plastic replacements on the inner world. The physical and mental forms keep us in a state of distraction, hypnotized by this world and lost in the mind's imagination in a multiplicity of forms: food, sex, money, material items, desires, information, and of course the infamous cell phone are all to be deeply enjoyed, yet met with extreme caution. The desiring ego can easily get lost in this world and forget about rooting yourself into your very soul, finding the real gold buried underneath your deepest emotional core wound. These comforts of this world numb our hidden pain and distract us from realizing that healing this core wound is the only way we will ever go to finding true inner peace and a permanent home in the infinite source of love within each and every single one of us. As long as we keep searching, seeking, and reaching for what our ego thinks is going to make us happy, fulfilled, or enlightened, we will still be running with the other rats on the wheel after the next tasty piece of cheese. Be aware, the cheese tastes extremely yummy, yet it is sitting on top of a trap. Once your mind reaches for it, the body may follow, and then you'll start believing that once you get this cheese, that this one all-important desire is met. Then you will be happy. The mind always thinks this. It always believes that once you, he, she, it shifts and changes, then everything will be better. How many times have any of us had this thought? Our minds are addicted to a selection of the words in the world's greatest cheeses and hasn't really considered the real gold, the vast deep mine of infinite treasure which is going to find when it has the courage and awareness how to jump off the wheel. Don't rely on the mind for liberation, Nisargadatta. Once you stop chasing after your daily, weekly cheese and take the time to be with yourself, having a long, deep look inside yourself while feeling into what is at the core of your deepest emotional wound, the wheel will slow down enough for you to get off. Yet you must be persistent, consistent, and relax deep enough into your core wound for it to release and be healed. You must surrender to the struggle. Relax as the pendulum swings back and forth with resistance, revealing in your deepest pain. Only through this approach can you discover how to be completely still, quiet, and at ease within yourself. Staying present to your pain without judgment, resistance, or effort is not an easy or pleasant task for the cheese-chasing mind. You'll most likely experience an even deeper desperation, confusion, fear, anxiety, anger, inner conflict, or turmoil inside. Deep inner turbulence is a sign that you're making progress, digging to the real gold. These emotional struggling experiences are needed to develop the exquisite urgency necessary for the spiritual search to take precedence over the succulent selection of cheeses. Through feeling into these emotions, you'll find the depth of surrender your soul is yearning for, and suddenly one day, the wheel will just stop spinning and free fall into the infinite heart source of love. Relaxation is a mandatory quality which everyone must develop to experience any enlightened level of consciousness. As long as we are tense inside, our minds are still fixating on some object, some concept, and thus cannot drop into the field of ecstasy that is beyond the form and formless. The ability to relax inside is what uncovers the secret location to the source of love. That which cannot relax, cannot be at peace, is the sign pointing us to where our next greatest enlightened experience will be found inside. The idea of it may make your mind do backflips and cartwheels, yet it is in the relaxation that you discover the living reality of it intimately. It's good to know that the source of love is not a superficial thing, yet can be found on the surface of everything. There is no place, race, or face that the source of love cannot be found. It is easily found when you see your baby laugh for the first time, and harder to see if your baby is dying in your arms. Yet this is life, the most wild, untamed ride any of us will ever take. The source of love is our ticket to freedom here, and it is always available beneath the painful thoughts and emotions and the very truth of existence itself. The source of love is usually at first approachable as a concept that can be sought, acquired, or conquered, yet do know that this is another trap. Simply relax and realize it. It is the very essence of your being, the very core of all of us. It is like an infinite burning sun inside each and every one of us, an eternal source of fuel that will burn every moment through us, spreading its brilliant light as far as it can into the darkness. On our journey into and through the struggle in this lifetime, please remember one key thing. Everything is perfect and unfolding exactly as it should. Our lives are predestined, and we are going to experience the deepest soul-surrendering process we can fathom. If we don't get the lesson before we leave the body, we will surely learn how to surrender it all when we do leave the body. The opportunity, though, is to find deeper inner peace, freedom, and true eternal happiness before our bodies are recycled. This is our mission, and our minds will always be there to distract us or facilitate a deeper experience of surrender, depending on how willing we are to let go. This is the essential teaching and path on how to transcend it all and live in an enlightened existence. Go beyond the cozy place of refuge and the perpetual, never-ending land of desires. They are both causing us to avoid freedom within this divine chaos. I suggest that we embrace them all. We embrace them both. Find the meaning, the meeting, in the middle where you can connect with the infinite source of love, which is alive in our hearts. It is the one place we can always feel at home and will make this wild, outrageous journey worth the ride. When we are ready to empower our lives in the most liberating ways, you will experience something that will shift your life into an extremely positive and empowering direction. So if you will, go to a place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure that we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax these bodies we're in, because we know we're not the body. So we relax them. How do we do that? We focus on our breath. Easy in through the nose and easy out through the mouth. You listen to the breath. You focus on the breath. The body, all of the stuff, the body's like a super magnetic sponge, and it absorbs everything. And the processing center is the subconscious mind. It copies everything. There's no judging. It just copies it all. Copies everything since you've been in that baby body. Copies everybody's intense arguments, distractions, everybody's thoughts, every event, every occurrence, whether you were in fact involved with it or not. And then it stores it and it replays it. Isn't that interesting? Everything the mind and ego conjures up, it copies and stores it and replays it. So you see how important it is for us to move into the now and stay in the now and stay with the journey within. So all of this stuff, you'll notice when you're focused only on the now and you're focused on relaxing the body that you're in, as soon as you do move in the now and you're focused on your breath, the body will relax. Tension and stress and fear and anxieties, anger, hate, greed, dishonesty, manipulation, it'll all fold off. The body becomes lighter. And all that noise, that mind chatter that we all have 24/7, it's not there. And all those thoughts, I mean, for goodness sakes, we've got over 60,000+ thoughts that we create every single day. And not only that, we've got tens of millions of them flying by like clouds in the sky in front of us that aren't ours. They're programs. They're thoughts from others. So you see how imperative it is for us to stay in the now. Why do you think so many people get so overloaded? You ever been overloaded? I think we all have at one time, shape, form, or another. So what does the now do? It alleviates, it stills the mind chatter, the ego, the mind and the subconscious mind. You know why? Because you aren't engaging them. You've left them alone. And then you can watch them. You don't judge them, you watch them. They aren't enemies. We just figure out how we become the masters of them rather than them mastering us every lifetime. So it's always in the now. You don't. What happens to your worries? They go. You're only in the moment to moment. Breath, 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 breath. Only in the moment. You're not thinking about tomorrow. You're not thinking about an hour from now. You're not thinking 10 minutes from now. You're not thinking about yesterday or a year ago or 10 years ago. You're not thinking about the future 10 years from now, 5 years from now, a year from now, a month from now. All you're doing is focused on the very moment you are in. And no matter how much that ego mind keeps trying to pull you off of that, because the ego mind knows that if it goes into the now, it will not exist. The ego mind is for what? Future past. Not the now. Future past. Now, sometimes, because we aren't exempt from this, we're focused on the now. And the ego mind and all these thoughts run around, it will float off. And it's not like we intend it. It just happens. We float off somewhere. And see, when we are just practice all the time being gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourselves, and stay in the deepest of the deepest, deepest, purest of the purest, purest, highest of the highest, highest, eternal gratitude. And the navigation becomes fun instead of arduous. And the navigation is what? You're only in the now. And you focus on your breath and you're in the now. Every single time, 3,000% of the time, which means always, you're in the now. It's real quick, too. Then, see, when some of these thoughts come in, you can say it's an ego thought. Not interested in it. And it just passes by. Okay? We have to choose them, see? They don't choose us. We choose them. Now, they may look like really good, trapped, that we go, can that be my thought? I can't believe I would think something like that. Okay? You go, no, that's not my thought. And it passes by. And then nothing comes of it. It's mastering this. It's not micromanagement either. You just will know. You'll feel it in your heart mind. In the center of your chest, you'll feel it. That's not my thought. And it passes by. You don't entertain it. Or that's an ego thought. Not interested in it. And it literally, they vaporize every time you identify and acknowledge it. Now, if you were to, you find yourself standing, there's three golden circles, right? One on the left, one in the center, one on the right. One on the left is the past, one on the right is the future, one you're standing on is the now. Now, the only thing you can tell the difference of these three paths, but they're all constructed the same. The trees form a canopy, a golden shimmering tree with the leaves are gold and everything. And then the path is a brilliant, bright, emerald green, flaming grass. The only difference between them is how much have they been used. So when you look at the one on the left, you say, that one's been used a lot, and that's the past. Now, we all reminisce, and we all have that library, our subconscious mind, that we enter, which copies everything, as we know, stores it. Good, bad, or indifferent, doesn't matter. It stores it. stores everything the ego mind generates. It stores everything that anything and anyone outside of you generates. See? And so we go in there. We reminisce. Open the door, turn the lights on, get some books and movies, sit down and enjoy ourselves. We reminisce over past experiences, and we have fun with it. Because most of the time we're paying attention to the good ones, the good times. Once in a while we might touch on the bad times and say, I won't be doing that again. But we leave, see, that we put the books and the movies away, and we turn the light off, shut the door, and we move forward. We're always moving forward in this life. Some of us, though, and I don't believe it's conscious, I believe it's unconscious, will stay there in that library so long that they will bring the past into the future that doesn't exist, create that future from that past and relive that past in that future. It's why a lot of people will say no matter what they do, they always seem to end up here. Now, is the future any different? We all go into the future, just like we all go into the past. Now, some of us will go into the future and will live in the future. Now, the future is created in the now, so that gets pretty bumpy. But we're always looking ahead. You ever notice that? Always in the future, we're always looking ahead. It's always second. It's always, I wonder what's going to happen, a year from now. Or I wonder if I'm going to have this in this many months. And we're always looking ahead. So you see how it works? And here's the now that we're standing on. Almost untouched, where all the power is in the now. So it is kind of an epiphany or a great awakening for us as a civilization to realize the only direction in this life is the now. Past, the future, everything happens in the now. Now, our destiny is prearranged, but it is in the sand. See? It's not etched in rock or stone. It's in the sand. It's drawn in the sand, which means what? You, any of us, can change our destiny. Now, we know that we're not the body that we're in, that we're the God. And we know that when we look in these bodies, we see 7 lights. Tailbone, top of the head. Each one's a different color. Very vibrant, brilliant, nothing much different than the lights here on this planet. And what are they? They're spirit, etheric energy. Just like the gods that we are in the body, we're spirit, etheric energy. So, what are they for? They're for us, the gods, to flow through. They're known as chakras on this planet. The definition of chakra is wheels of light. Now, they're connected to every part of this body right down to the quantum cord. All the tissue, all the organs, all the blood flow, all the cells, all the atoms, all the molecules, everything. Forever, as long as we're in it. So as we continue to travel within and stay within and in the now, we slowly but surely uncover our amnesia to discover that the gods that we are in these bodies are the power of healing these bodies. And we will then discover eventually that we will heal these bodies in a blink of the eye. Period. Now, we have 8 billion gods on this planet, but just the ones in humanoid form, right? Not the ones in the trees, the animals, and everything else. So some parts of us are asleep, but they still are the light. They're the love. Other parts of us are awake to a certain extent. We're consciously aware of our light. Now, the soul enters the body, powers the body. It's pretty common sense. The body starts up, it starts generating, producing oxygen, air from the air elemental. And so the body is sustaining the God so that the God can experience the physical form on this planet. So the breath is very, very powerful, divine, positive energy. The body is earth. Soul's heaven. Heaven isn't a place. That's another trap. Heaven is you. The God that you are. The kingdom of God. And every step, those of us who are consciously aware, what does consciously aware mean? It means that we know that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Of and from. We know that every step we take on this planet, we are literally creating paradise. Not only that, we're shining our love, the love that we are made of, 24/7, 360 degrees. You could do it all day long. You could do it just sitting in your house. I think I'm going to blast the whole country with my deep eternal love, of which I'm made of. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fan it out 360 degrees, and I'm just going to send it out in pulse waves. And it's just going to just go over and saturate and permeate everything, all life, the highest supreme value in the universe. And don't think just because of your size that you're not that powerful. That's your ego mind talking. And you don't lose anything because you're part of everything. Now, if you were to take a starship off planet, and you went out far enough, and you looked at this planet in its circumference, in its entirety, you would see that it glowed. Not only that, you would notice the lights that were circulating around it in this universe would pale in comparison. They would be compared to a candle that's been lit in a dark room. Dim, dim, dim. There isn't a light that can compare not only to the frequency, but also the light that the love we are gives off. And its effects are astronomical on everything and anything. And nothing. Now, since we are all one, just because we view it from a perspective from the physical that parts of us are billions of light years away, we're still one. There's no separation. We're still one. We always will be. The gods that we are. So, this is all light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond and forever. Ascended Masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Vedantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. All the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. This is a busy planet. All of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. All the off-worlders, galactics, and celestials. All the archangels, cherubim, seraphim, the archetypes. Now, light energy beings on this planet, because of the eyes we have with these bodies, we only see 1% of what is. So there's many light energy beings in different light spectrums. Red, infrared, violet, ultraviolet, blue, ultra blue. And they're there. We don't see them. They come in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations. But there is a group. And part of that group where these bodies that we're in are dependent on parts of this group. Fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, mermaid, dolphin, whale, Pegasus, unicorn, centaur, minotaur. Now ask yourself, can the body that you're in, that we're all in different bodies that we're in, can they sustain themselves without air, water, fire, earth, ether, wood? No. These bodies are deeply dependent on the elementals, the magics, to continue to sustain themselves as we inhabit them. Now, the archangels, they're a civilization that vibrate at a different frequency than we do. Although the gods within them and the gods within us are one, they vibrate at a different frequency in their physical forms. That's why we don't see them like we see each other. But they're in all of our lifetimes. We all interact. Now, you meet them, we all meet them, and then through many lifetimes we meet them. It's just that we don't always identify meeting them. There are times where we'll just have a conversation that just strikes up out of a stranger out of nowhere. We have communication, and then, you turn around, you get about your business, and then you say, something dawns on you and says, that wasn't just a regular conversation. I have a suspicion that was an angel. And you feel a little bliss. And they're always sending us message. And they send it in many different ways. But it really comes down to isn't it absolutely magna glorious to be alive in these bodies? And it is. It's just that we have been searching outside of ourselves for so long that we have forgotten. And the deep gratitude for these bodies, for our gods that we are to be in them and experience physical life. And I'll guarantee you this, every single time you leave the body, once you get adjusted out of the body, you'll start, and it fades, it does fade quickly. But you will say, you'll understand with yourself that I don't laugh, I don't cry. Those were all physical experiences. This is why, even though we're in this incessant incarnation trap that will become obsolete, we like being in these bodies because there's so much diversity. And, when you realize that you don't eat, you don't sleep, you don't laugh, you don't cry, you don't make love, you don't kiss, you don't hold hands, you don't do any of that stuff. None of it when you're out of body. Ever. So why were we created? To experience, to create. Experience, create, experience, create. Create, experience, create, experience. That's what we were created for. Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time, and the tens of thousands or tens of millions. Reason is, because their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large number in a small area. Now, if you want them to surround you at any one time, ask in a blink of the eye, they are there, and you are in bliss. And you'll know it every single time. Now, the ascended masters, they have ascended into physical form. They have mastered physical form. They have ascended out of physical form. They are holding pure consciousness God form. We have ascended into physical form. We are in the process of mastering physical form. We are creating our experiences to perfect our creations. Now, the off-worlders, the galactics and the celestials, over 1,000 species, civilizations travel through this solar system every day. Understand, this solar system has over 170 or 60 some planets. Trillions throughout the universes every day. Now, there's a small group that we're familiar with. Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Feline, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian. This particular group has been assisting us in these bodies, in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. Now, in the Gogaplexes, one Gogaplex fills this entire universe with not even one sacred square inch of space left. They come in trillions of Gogaplexes from trillions of directions. And we're all one. So you got hundreds of millions, consciously aware, on and off world, focused on this planet's complete liberation. So in a way, arm in arm, hand in hand, gathered here, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. We're all one. We're all love. And we're all God. And our God force, love, light, energy, the love that we're made of, continues to grow, intensify, and expand. Immediately form a white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. Now, this light is so bright that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. Not only that, it would take 1,000 billion suns to even come close to its brightness. And we are saturating this planet, on it, in it, above it, and below it, 24/7, infinity and beyond, with the love that we are. Now, we begin to ascend above the planet. We're immediately met with a massive ocean of glitter. Now, it's not like you would picture an ocean of glitter on this planet. You know, ocean filled with glitter. It's much more than that. The closest we can come to describing it is that you have this massive fireworks display. Grand finale. Nothing like on this planet, far beyond that. Same with a laser light grand finale show. And the ballroom globe that we're familiar with that has all the mirrors that reflects all the lights very slowly in the room. Except this one is 1 trillion times larger and 1 trillion times more intense. So you combine them all in one massive crescendo. And that's about as close as we'll get to describing this ocean of glitter. Now, we're curious, so we get right up onto the reflective points of this ocean of glitter, and we notice these tiny microscopic mirrors perfectly etched. So we enter them, and we discover that all of us, are teaching, learning, teaching, all the time, infinity and beyond. It's fascinating. How could this life ever be boring? We were taught that the tree is life, right? We said, well, the tree's got life. The tree is life. It's the God within the tree that enters the tree that gives the tree life so that the God can experience the physicality of the tree. Physical life. It's the same with all the animals. Birds, rabbits, dogs, cats, trees, everything. They're all teaching us, and they're all learning. This is infinity and beyond. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white firelight. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that from head to toe, inside and out, 24/7, infinity and beyond, we are protected with this white fire armor. It isn't like the armor on this planet. It is way beyond that. And where does this come from? The love that made us, the love that we are within inside these bodies. It is the highest of the highest high vibrational frequency. The lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies cannot come close to us. If they do, they'll vaporize. They know it. They stay away. Well, lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. No demon possession, no attachments. Ever, ever, ever. But only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, through hatred, anger, greed, fear, revenge, hurriedness, envy, jealousy, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then we open up, demon possession, attachments, all kinds of interesting things, right? Now, if you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with a double column of light. First part of the column is the purple transmuting flame. We created this part of the column to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are no more. Then the second half of this column of light is the violet ray. We created this part of the column of light to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational frequency of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, purest of the purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we created to remind all of us, the gods that we are within these bodies in this very now, are the sun, the sunlight, the rain, the rainbows, the sun sets, the sun rises, clouds in the skies, oceans, rivers, lakes, streams, trees, forests, soils, mountains. We are everything. Everything is us. We were taught for separation. We were raised as a species to believe in separation, to believe in the illusions. This is all an illusion. And it seems really real, doesn't it? Because the ego mind tries to keep us pinned in the illusion, the material, physical world. So the next time that you view a sunset or a sunrise, starry lit night sky, rainbow, mountain view, ocean front, whatever it may be, we've been trained to say, oh, that's beautiful. As separate from us. And in actuality, that is the God that I am. And you express this through the heart-mind. It has nothing to do with the ego mind. That is the God that I am. Whenever you're presented with beauty, divineness, majesty, that is the God that I am. We continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us step outside our physical form. If we're carrying physical form and hover effortlessly above them. The reason we do this is because it's fun and we can we come into full contact with this massive crystalline-like tower. We created this tower. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. Now, in the center of the column, we notice this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is this golden white ball of light. It is surrounded by multicolored rings of light that seem to go to infinity and beyond. Now, they have created this massive, misty, cloudish, super bright white, sparkling, arcing, electrified cloud. And it's absorbed through our heart minds. And it's like a warm embrace that never ends. Now, we discover that the golden white ball of light is the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love. And then comes well-being, gratitude with the rings, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, massive, tremendous prosperity, and massive, tremendous abundance. And we discover that all of that is but a reflection of the gods that we are in these bodies. Now, at the top of this column, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, 24/7, infinity and beyond. This is, again, the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest purest, eternal love of that which we're made of. Permeating, saturating, flooding this planet, all life, the highest supreme value in the universe. Now, we are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Drops of the golden ocean is the drops. And the only illusion is separation. We share a meditative sphere. It's at center circle. We all created this sphere over 4 years ago. It holds all of our meditations in perpetual motion, over 1,800 of them. Now, these meditations continue to grow, expand, and intensify. And they're saturating, flooding, and permeating this planet head to toe, inside and out, infinity and beyond. You can tap into them anytime. Anytime. Do the opposite of what didn't work before and believe in the power of silence. The more you can relax and just be, the more abundance of this life's rich experiences you will receive. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. Excuse me. For today, investigate this experience called breathing all day long. Keep bringing your mind back to the breath, following it wherever it flows. Just be with it. If it's shallow, deep, fast, or sluggish, don't try to change your breath in any way. Simply connect to it. Feel it from your heart, as if you're making friends with it. Notice how it changes when you merge with it and allow yourself to become it fully. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We will return here February 15th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. And for those of you who celebrate, happy Valentine's to all.